want to show you guys some numbers. According to the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, as of this March, on average, a U.S. household with credit card debt more than $21,000. And then the average credit card interest rate is 27.64%. That is a lot of money. So what should you do if we have all this debt? And then also, what are some ways that we can avoid this from happening to you or your family? The good thing is that there are resources to help. Jana Morrison is here with us this morning to really help us with all of this. And Jana, I love this. You got to know your budget. You need to know what you're doing and how much money you have, especially when you make these big purchases.
Yes, you do, because it just depends on your income and expenses, and so that you know what you can use to pay it off.
That's the big thing, is you got to know if you can pay it off too. So I want to break down some of those expenses. So kind of knowing your expenses and then how you can negotiate it, because there are ways that you can kind of chat with people to make sure that there are resources out there for it.
There are, and the problem is when credit cards get out of control.
Right.
And that's so easy to happen, because if the average is, $27,000, I mean, that's a huge amount of debt. And so what do you do whenever it gets to be out of control? And so I think the first thing that you want to do is can you increase your income? Can you lower your expenses? That's the first step. I think maybe that is for more reasonable credit card debt. Maybe get another job. I mean, even paying an additional $100 a week, if you can earn $100 a week, it can drop your debt drastically.
So speaking of that too, is that there are debt consolidation and then debt consolidation loans. Can you kind of break those down?
Sure. Debt consolidation. So what that means is if you can find a 0% credit card, then a lot of times what you can do is transfer your balance, your current balance at the 27% rate, to the 0% credit cards. But make sure that you're looking at the transfer fees, because you want low transfer fees.
That's where they get you.
So I think this is a good first step. But a lot of times the term for that low rate is only it goes out to maybe 18 months at the most.
It's quick.
So you have to make sure that if you do that, you have a plan to pay it off.
Right, because with those loans, it is just incredibly, 15 to 18 months we said there too.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so then there are debt relief options, but Jana, you kind of mentioned the B word, bankruptcy. That's an interesting word, but it is an option.
That's right. So I would say there's maybe 3 options if you have really high debt.
Right.
One is to contact a credit counseling agency. And so there's some nonprofit agencies, the National Federation of Credit Counselors, find that. That's a nonprofit agency that can point you in the right direction. And then they can help you. That's the first step. They can really do things that are not as drastic.
Right.
Second step would be bankruptcy, and you may want to talk to a bankruptcy attorney for that. There's 2 different bankruptcies, Chapter 7 and Chapter 13. Chapter 13 is the one where you actually do pay your balances off, so it doesn't affect your credit as badly as Chapter 7.
There you go.
And then another terrible option, but it's there.
It's
a debt management program, and this is where you go to a settlement agency and you pay them costly fees, and they will negotiate your balances with your creditors. But you have those costly fees. It does damage your credit score. But if you're drowning in debt, this is an option for you.
Doesn't matter what happens, there is always help available, no matter that number. Jana, thank you so much for stopping by. This is definitely some really good advice, from a little bit of debt to a lot of debt.
Thank you so much.
We're going to be putting this on our website as well, WLTX.com. All right, everyone. It's official. Kendrick Lamar is going to be headlining the Super Bowl halftime performance. The rapper sharing the news last night. Already some controversy. We got the details after the break.